we are at St. Anthony's Rock in St. Ignace, Michigan. And in this pillar of rock you see behind me, there is a lot of fascinating geologic history. Let's start with the rock type. That is made out of the Mackinac breccia. Now, breccia is a bunch of broken up bits and pieces of rock. And well, how did that come about? How did we get that? Well, way back in the Devonian, when that rock formed, the rocks that were underneath it were dissolving away. Those rocks are part of the Salina group. And the Salina group has lots of halite, rock salt, and other evaporites that would get dissolved away and create these big caverns. And then the overlying rocks would collapse into those caverns as this broken up breccia that then lithified together to create the rock we see behind us, that Mackinac breccia. Well, that's interesting geology thing number one. The second neat thing is just the shape of that rock. That's something that we call a sea stack, or in this case, it's a lake stack. Lake Huron is just over that way a little bit. And how these lake stacks, these pillars, are formed is by wave refraction. See, you have an irregularly shaped coastline. And what I mean by that, it's a coastline that has some bays and then some headlands of rock sticking out into the lake. And as the waves approach that headland of rock, they bend. And as they bend, they focus the erosion just behind the point of the headland. And so that erosion occurs over and over and over, and eventually weathers and erodes the rock behind the point of the headland away, leaving this isolated pillar of rock, leaving this stack behind. So that's second cool geology thing. Now the third interesting thing is, well, I just mentioned it's the lake that created that, right? I am not standing in water. Well, the lake used to be a lot higher. See, as the glaciers were melting away after the Pleistocene Ice Age, we had a high stand of water called the Nipissing stage. And the Nipissing stage was the last high stand of the Great Lakes, which occurred about 4,500 years ago. And that's when the lake was all the way up here and was eroding away that beautiful stack that you see behind me. So there you go. Three fascinating geological things in one beautiful rock.